Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Speak On podcast. I am your host, Big Mike, back 100% from last week. But it's not about me. I got the fellas with me. We're going to get right into it. This is a post game of Boston and Brooklyn. Let's bring the fellas in. I'm going to bring in first, probably neutral party here, probably for about 10 seconds. My man Breezy's in the building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Gonna bring in the man that is utterly enjoying the events of tonight. I know he can't wait to get on here. Anthony is here in the building. Yeah, oh, we're waving.
How you guys doing?
There you go. There we go. And we're just not even gonna play games. We're gonna just bring him in. I'm just gonna let him have his first 5-minute rant. Let him get all his.
And before you give him his first 5 minutes, bring him in. I just want to say that it's pretty coincidental that we're all wearing black for this funeral.
Gabe, you want to know something very funny?
Oh, go ahead, man.
Hold on, put all four of us back really quick.
You want full screen? We'll go back full screen. Go ahead.
So, I'm wearing black for that exact reason. That's exactly why I'm wearing black. So you can go ahead and put me back in my ones, please.
Mad producer.
Nets and 4. It's fucking fire Steve Nash season over here in Brooklyn, New York. Get that fucking clown the fuck out of here. I've got to witness. This is the first time in a long time as a Nets fan or really ever in my lifetime, where I finally get to be on the other end of expectations, right? And it sucks. Good thing I wasn't saying Nets for the title all season, so my expectations aren't super crushed. But, it is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and blame any one thing because there's a lot that happened in this season, and it all cultivated into getting swept by our own family member in Ime Udoka. So, yeah, fuck that. I hate it all. I hate my life. Steve Nash is dead to me, and he better be on the first plane back to fucking Canada as soon as he touches down his home in fucking Dumbo. You fucking clown. I hate. This is where the internet becomes this crazy echo chamber of living in the moment, because everything Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving did in their career completely gets thrown away by one bad series, and it's ridiculous. Where Durant's played 15 years in the NBA, and all of a sudden he's a fucking bum because of one bad playoff series, which is unbelievable to say. All my questions about Jason Tatum have been answered because he's an absolute superstar. Absolute superstar on both ends of the court. I wish Steve Nash was a better coach to help prevent seeing that step in the direction, because every shot Tatum took was when the Nets defender would take a step back to reset, and he'd say, fucking, I'm pulling. And he'd have enough space, and it's so wild to me. But Tatum's elite. Ime Udoka is the best coach in the Eastern Conference besides Spoelstra. When it's the inevitable Bucks-Celtics match, I do think the Celtics will win, because if they coach as well as they coached in this series to completely neutralize Brooklyn as a whole, they're going to force Bud to Bud. And Milwaukee, me and Mike were talking about this before any of y'all got in here, Bud was going to be fired.
Sure was.
He was going to be fired. And if Ime Udoka is able to make Bud be Bud, they're going to have a lot of questions in Milwaukee, especially if Middleton isn't 100%, which he currently isn't. So we could go into the why the Nets lost and all that stuff, blah blah blah. I'm already been on the why the Nets lost. You have to give your hate to Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, but like this game was won and lost on the sideline at the head coaching position, as seen by Blake Griffin playing 5 minutes in Game 3. Gave a crazy amount of energy. The crowd got into it just for Blake Griffin to not see the court again. Blake Griffin comes in Game 4. It is electric again. Blake doing Blake things with the help of Scott Foster, all to be just thrown out the window because of crazy adjustments. Why is Claxton missing 10 free throws in a row and still being in the game? That's a wild adjustment to me. Why are we taking out all bigs, putting Kevin Durant at center, and just losing rebounds when you have another capable big? Like, why? Where was Andre Drummond in that stretch where it was just Tice? Like, I get it, but like that's where you have to put in 3 minutes of Drummond to get Claxton and Blake your rest. But let's keep running small guard lineups where the tallest person is Durant and the next tallest person is 6'4" and Bruce Brown. Like, that's crazy to me. That's absolutely crazy to me that like that's what's being thrown out there. And the second it happened, I'm like, no, what is this lineup? I hate everything about this. Why is this happening?
I said to you in Game 3, I said, in what world do we live in where we see this Nets team get swept? And I also said earlier this season that, no, I said it last season actually. I said that, and I referenced it again yesterday where I said they took a chance on a rookie coach based on popularity of his name and his career in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
He had no coaching experience, not even an assistant coach, not being of a coaching staff, none of it. Just retire, insert coach. And
the Nets have a history of doing that.
But you also heard Kyrie say things like,
I'm going to let Anthony go because I cannot wait to get into that.
He also
go ahead, Anthony. Oh, no, go ahead, James. Finish your point.
He also said, hey, we don't even have a coach. We can insert name and just play ball. But that was based off of trying to cover up the idea that it was a rookie coach of Steve Nash. But hey, I can say that I never saw this coming, not by a long shot. But halfway through Game 3 is when I made that statement saying, what world do we live in where this Nets team gets swept? But I also have been referencing to Dylan, but this is all on a whim. I've been referencing to Dylan all season. What's to happen if you get this team and it doesn't happen, or they don't even sniff it? And he was being realistic. We're saying that, hey, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I said it.
No, absolutely. The thing is, this whole season for the Nets has been a fucking train wreck. So the fact that we were even here with everything that went on is wild to me. Like, the lineups that we're playing today were the first time they were really ever playing together. Like, that's wild to me to say that when we're in Game 4 of the fucking playoffs. Like, that's absolutely wild to me.
They could have benefited off of the downfall that the Lakers had, where they had so many lineups throughout the entire course of the season.
Mm-hmm.
If they would have experienced just tried stuff, just threw shit at the wall as far as lineups to see what works, they would have been in a better situation to know how to combat against this type of Celtics team that's shutting a lot of stuff down.
The problem is everything was done too late. Like, the Kevin Durant today, he played a really good game, right? He kept the Nets in the game, 37, like, did everything he could have, right, on the offensive side of the ball. This was an adjustment that should have been made for Game 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when we were talking to the group chat in Game 3, you were saying, hey, run more screens, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to my rebuttal was, No, run less screens. Like, why are we trying? You're Kevin Durant. Why are we switching? The second where they're screening, they're blitzing, which they're trying to get you to pick up a dribble and make a turnover. So much so that it happened where the first 3 games of the season or the series, 7-game turnover, 7-game turnover, 6-game turnover, and you're shooting like 30% from the field. Today, they're getting him in spots. When he was bringing the ball up, they weren't screening. They were letting him go. They were spreading the floor better and forcing Boston to guard the shooters, giving Durant his space. They ran maybe 5 screens all game for Durant, which is exactly what I was like, hey, if you're going to do this, do it like this. And then they were running off of curls and having him come off of screens. Like, today was the first time in like maybe 15 games I've seen Durant open for a corner 3. Off ball. Like, those are the things that should have been done game 2. If not the latest, game 3 at halftime when you see Durant struggling. But then it's like the lineups and the rotate. Everything was just 5 steps behind.
It was a team struggle because
it was a complete team struggle.
Kyrie didn't have an outbreak game. Drummond didn't even see the floor, and neither did LaMarcus Aldridge. But I mean,
Aldridge is somebody who could have saw the floor with Tice out there when Tice is the only big, and we're struggling and we need offense. Aldridge could have saw the floor there, but then you have to take him out immediately. Like, he can't do anything. Like, he's unplayable. Like, it's tough for that because we could have used his free throws when Claxton's missing. We could have used some of the middies. We could have used something, right? But again, putting Aldridge in a spot where he's not a great 3-point shooter and he's going to stretch the floor is just going to put more bodies in the way of Durant.
I mean, what do you expect? I mean, you say that you guys should have seen Blake sooner, right? With him being in the shape that he was in, right? What did you expect by putting him in sooner? I think that with him being in sooner, you still get the same type of output. You still get the same gassed Blake Griffin. You get good output in spurts, but I still see the same gassed output though.
No, well, yeah, that's what happens when you don't play for 20 games. But like, at least you get the effort, right? And then you give him an opportunity to play himself into shape.
And you get the spurts earlier where you can still do that and have Kevin Durant not have to waste every bullet in the gun in the first 3 quarters.
Because like the fact that we only saw Blake Griffin literally only saw the court with a minute left in the 3rd quarter. Play for 5 minutes. Man, it's like every Nets game this series goes back to minute 30, where game 3 or game 2 you have the terrible where all the fouls are being called. Dragic doesn't come into the game, even though there was nothing but dead balls from 4 minutes to 1 minute. And he doesn't get in to slow the game down until a minute 34, after Dragic already had 14 in the first half. And then you go game 3. Blake comes in with a minute 30 and gives you a spark. And it's like game 4 is exactly what game 2 and 3 should have been. But this is what happens when you have a fucking coach who got bailed out by having great players. And the problem is, I've been giving Steve Nash so much flack for all the shit that he's dealt with in his 2 years as the coach. Nobody's dealt with as much bullshit.
Well, the first year he didn't really have to. He didn't have to coach at all the first year.
Well, he did, because remember, his first year, Durant barely played. Durant was in and out of the lineup, and then COVID kept him out of the lineup more. Kyrie Irving was out for a while, and then you had James Harden was the only one playing when Kyrie and Kevin Durant were out. And then you had the last spurt of the season where they all were playing, and then the Celtics series. And then everything hit the fan after game 3 in the Milwaukee series. So he never was given like a fair hand because he always had something happen.
But but the thing is, where I say he didn't have to coach as much as he did this season is because last season, even though they were going through all those turmoil things, when there was one of his 3 superstars playing, they did their job.
Yeah.
They overexceeded and did their job. Whereas this season, especially in the playoffs, when they face the Celtics, their superstars can't do their job. So then it's like,
that's
fuck,
when you rely on the coach.
Now I have to coach, because last year when they was going against the Bucks, then they lost Harden and Kyrie, and then they had a limping Harden, and they had a fully healthy Kevin Durant. They were able to rely on Kevin Durant and not worry about coaching still. So now, when they don't have any of their stars putting up output, and then their third guy that they're supposed to get that didn't come back, he got to rely on coaching, and he's not a good.
Well, we
coach.
relied on coaching in Game 7 because
And where
coaching
was his
killed us in Game 7.
assistants? Where were the assistant coaches? Where are the guys? Where's Jacques?
This is where it's like Mike always goes back to like, why doesn't Jacques Vaughn have a job? That's kind of why Jacques Vaughn doesn't have a job.
I don't know. Buck stopped with Steve Nash.
Because the problem, no, it doesn't. Nash. I'm not saying Jacques Vaughn doesn't deserve a thing.
Nah, not yet.
But
Coach,
D'Antoni,
not yet.
Because D'Antoni last year is part of the reason why we fucked up too. Because Nash would just rely on D'Antoni a ton, but D'Antoni's awful.
D'Antoni coached that team last year.
D'Antoni was awful in crunch time with timeouts, and that's why we got that fucking Kevin Durant airball in Game 7. He relied too much on D'Antoni. Ime was the best coach on that staff last year. And then when all my Boston fans buddies were like, what's the deal on him? I'm like, y'all are going to really love him because he's a no bullshit coach. And he was that. Jacques Vaughn, I don't know where the assistants were for Steve because I got to see Jacques Vaughn coach a Nets playoff run.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand where.
That was a severely crippled Nets team, though, and they did.
But it was a Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert, Jared Allen. They fought.
Played as well as they could have played. He couldn't have done anything else with that team. If we're saying that about this Brooklyn team, they're advancing.
I would like to see Jacques Vaughn get a shot at coaching this team. But I don't think that's realistic.
Get the Orlando job or something stupid like that.
He's already done Orlando, so.
Mm-hmm. But you know what I mean, like a bottom feeder job where he's gonna have no talent and has no chance of winning.
I would like to see Jacques.
Yet still, Steve Nash can walk into this situation.
Nash won't get another job.
It's a privilege.
Nash won't get another job. But the Nets did this with Jason Kidd too. The second Jason
Kidd
retired, he walked right in.
Too. Jason Kidd bothered me too. But oh yeah, the privilege. But oh my goodness.
But it's one thing where it's like I'm not going to sit here and say the Nets don't hire black coaches because in the last like 20 years the Nets have had the most black coaches.
Yeah, it's not a Nets thing; it's an NBA thing.
Yeah, so it's like thing. That's why it's like when people were giving me shit like, "Oh, why Steve Nash get the shot?" I'm like, I mean, I'm not mad at this. Like this seems like
it's an NBA thing, but more than anything. This Steve Nash coaching,
he won't get another job.
This is a Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant thing.
Don't let them pick.
Yes, because they co-signed on this.
Obviously you have to get your player to co-sign the head coach.
Steve Nash was
that was a Kevin Durant hire.
A personnel assistant with the Warriors. He got to work with Kevin Durant every day, and Kevin Durant loves him, and he knows so much about basketball. You know what? He should be the coach. And then they hired him. And like you said, James, with when we were all like, how does he get this job? And he's never coached a second of his life. And Kyrie goes, well, we don't really need a coach. You know, we can just do it ourselves.
I can tell you right now, Marks did not consult Kyrie Irving on that decision.
We're so good. We can just do this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. How'd that work out? Because your guy that has never coached got circles ran around him by an actual coach.
Yeah, man.
An actual coach.
Hey, I think when I saw how this played out, Dylan, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about when I say it's this one clip that plays in my head as soon as they played the Celtics. And you know what it was? I'm telling you, them Celtics, they're going to be a problem next year. And what Ume Udoke said, we locking Patty ass up. That was during the Olympics, right?
Yep.
And they locked Katie, Patty, the whole Celtics team up.
Yeah. If we're going to troll Dylan, where has the Patty Mills, because
Patty Mills I told you guys after game 1, Patty's unplayable in this series.
Patty Mills Patty Mills
that. Create his own shot.
He's too small. He's too small. He can't play defense and he can't create his own shot.
Clamp the fuck up.
Patty Mills would have been awesome if Steve Nash was able to coach Durant into better spots. Patty Mills would have been able to get his shots if Durant and Irving are getting theirs off. And that's what it comes down to. Patty's a guy who needs to float off of everybody else.
I mean, Seth Curry
played great the last two games.
He finally had a
No,
shooting game tonight.
He had a great night tonight, Seth
But
Curry.
again, it comes back to I have to sit here. How do all of us that have never played in the NBA sit here and see Seth Curry get switched on to Jason Tatum, and Jason Tatum abuse him time and time again because he's too small. It's not even nothing about his defense. He's just too small. And the Nets just continued to fall for the switch every single time. And Jason Tatum just kept going, all right, I'm going to get another one. All right,
this literally goes back to the last time in the regular season where I said the laziest thing I hate in the NBA, because everybody in the NBA does this. The second they touch you on your hip, you switch. Why?
I've been.
I hate that.
Mike knows I've been screaming this for years. I
just
hate
sit
the
the
switch.
fuck down
I hate the go
and
under.
play defense. Run over the screen.
Yeah. Get the offensive foul by doing it. Make them call the
do something.
Call the foul, going through the screen, run the guy over, make him.
The best part of
in the screen, all of
the
that.
best defensive possessions I saw today were where Kevin Durant ran over the screen on Tatum, making his shot harder, forcing him to pass out.
But that was like the last 3 minutes.
But it was the last 4 minutes of the game. Why didn't I get more of that? But again, let's keep putting guys on Tatum who are shorter than 6'4".
That are just too short. That's
why isn't Durant just his primary guy?
It's the same thing.
Because Durant off the ball was just ball watching, so let's make him do something.
It's the same thing we were screaming about with Milwaukee and Brooklyn last year when they would the reason Milwaukee was able to finally slow him down was because PJ Tucker was like, nah, fuck that. I'm not switching. He's mine. I'm going to stay up under him, and if he scores, he scores. Like, that's all you have to do. If he scores, he scores.
Like, Durant on the defensive side of the ball this series was terrible, right?
Horrible.
It was horrible.
It was not good at all.
So it's like, all right, let's get him involved on defense because we're not getting offense. We're clearly not doing something. We need to spark something. Oh, let's put him as the primary defender since you're not taking a ton of shots. So go ahead, be the primary defender and run over screens, make life difficult. You are longer and taller than Jason Tatum.
But the Warriors team made you believe KD is
everybody in the media was just KD is just a great defender.
KD is a good help defender.
Exactly,
he's a good help
defender.
And the fact that people are asking KD, who is 6'11", they say 6'9", but 6'11", 230, 40 pounds to fight through these screens when he's not that body size to do that. He's not going to run through these screens. The only way he was going to get over is if these guys were going to let him get over, and they were letting him get over and play one-on-one defense in the last few minutes of the game. But that's where you get those him going under and Tatum
and allowing Tatum to get the shot off.
That's what happens because they screen really hard. He goes under.
But the thing is, like, that play was bad judgment, and Durant was like, "Fuck, I shouldn't have done that," because he thought he was going to drive right. So I was like, all right, cool. Just the next couple possessions, he ran over, made Tatum pick up a dribble. I'm not saying he could have done that all game because Tatum's also obviously going to get his. He's gotten to that level where he's an elite shot taker, elite shot maker. He's going to do his thing. But, like, you're the only one who has the size to be able to do it. Like, that's like, if you know you're struggling on the offense, create your offense on defense. Mm-hmm. But, again, where's the coach? Like, why isn't Nash or Stoudemire, fucking Jacques Vaughn, fucking pick your fucking assistant coach?
Where was Bruce Brown?
Bruce Brown, that game disappeared. The last two games, Bruce Brown is back-to-back career high playoff points in 23 and 25. Bruce Brown was getting cooked. He was getting cooked.
He was supposed to be the defensive guy, and he was supposed to be the guy that guard. Yeah, he was supposed to be the X factor to guard Jaylen Brown. And Jaylen Brown got 30. And Jaylen Brown got 30.
Well, we got swept because of Bruce Brown. Mm-hmm. Him coming out talking shit. Like, you don't do that.
Yeah.
You literally don't do that.
Yeah, you don't poke the bear, man.
Don't do that. Like, Kevin Durant had to do damage control, but why is this? Why do we even have to do this? Now you're making my life hard. And that's exactly what they did. They made Kevin Durant's life hard.
Al Horford, man.
But
Next season, Joe
next
Harris
season,
should be traded.
Brooklyn will be favored. I'm telling you, I don't know.
Brooklyn
Dylan.
will be
I
back
really
in
feel
the
like
playoffs.
Brooklyn's going to bring these dudes back because they feel like if these dudes are healthy and back, that they can win, which they can. Which is why I don't think Steve Nash is going to get fired because he's going to he's going to give that. I never
if
had
I
my
know
troops.
Sean Marks as well as I think I know Sean Marks is going to be like,
That's going to be a real tough exit interview. I tell you that. There's going to be some questions that
because
he's
Sean is going to
answer.
sit there and be like, I'm trying to get a title here. I've done everything I can to help you. And this is what you give me. Sean Marks, one of the guys on Nets Twitter that I follow, was like, I am watching Sean Marks, and this is the first time in 4 years that I've ever seen Sean Marks concerned in Barclays. And I'm just like, well, here we go. If you should very much so be concerned because this coach ain't it. But the problem is, I don't know where you go next.
Well, they'll figure that's Sean Marks' job.
But if I trust any GM in the NBA, it's Sean Marks.
Yeah. But I just because we're rightfully so because as I've joyfully pointed out to Dylan, for most of the season you've been with us, I've been calling for Steve Nash's head for most of the year. So I have been just enjoying him getting outcoached so badly.
It's hard to really get out.
But as much as I enjoyed that, I'm not bringing that energy tonight. I'm bringing, and I wish Roz was here because I would love to hear what he has to say because I want to hear all these people because all of us, Anthony, know that if this was LeBron James, the world would be ending right now. If LeBron played like Kevin Durant just played for those 4 games, you would never hear the end of it. I don't hear KD catching the smoke.
No,
he caught the smoke. He caught the smoke for game 3.
Nah,
he's been catching smoke all series.
He's been catching smoke, bro. He's been catching smoke. I mean,
I've had to stay off of every basketball
smoke.
talk.
That's my point.
He's catching smoke.
Is he catching LeBron smoke? Because we know this would be the end of the world if this was LeBron.
Yeah,
I opened up my little monologue by saying the basketball world is completely throwing away everything Kevin Durant's done in his career because of this series.
Well,
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. 30.
Katie's 33.
33. He's 33.
So the small difference is, had it been this year and this happened, and all if the turmoil was the same on the Lakers minus injuries, and this happened, they got swept first round by the Phoenix Suns, and they had AD and LeBron and Russell Westbrook, and they weren't having terrible seasons and everything like that. The only difference is they be saying this is the end of an era for LeBron because he's at the end of his run. This is like his last few years, apparently. Assumption. They'll say that this is the end of an era. Whereas right now, KD, you would kind of say that he's in his prime, right?
He's got about 3 years left.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you'll probably say he's in his prime now. And with that being said, with him to lose this way, it's not the end of the world because he can come back and do this again, and his team is not going anywhere. That's the only reason. That's the only difference. But they have been given smoke. They have been given smoke, but it's a distraction too because the smoke isn't only going to KD.
It is a distraction because the real villain of this team in this series is number 11. That's the real villain of this team.
Who's that?
He's blaming Kyrie Irving.
Ben Simmons. This series.
Trust me, Ben Simmons would not have made a difference.
I said the media.
The media is killing
the media is blaming Ben Simmons. Yes,
but how can you blame Kyrie of this though?
This
when
season,
Kyrie underperformed
Kyrie for this season. And yes, Anthony, you're right. Kyrie sure the hell disappeared after.
I don't understand why he's not getting more smoke. Like he didn't. I mean,
The problem with Kyrie
after
smoke
his
is it's
heel-
redundant now.
After Kyrie's heel
Wait,
turn
what'd you
in
say?
game one, he ain't done nothing.
Giving Kyrie Irving smoke now is just redundant because everybody's been giving Kyrie smoke literally all season.
And now
That
The
doesn't-
problem is Kyrie Irving didn't play well and Kevin Durant didn't play well.
Exactly,
And you have
and-
Ben Simmons who's not playing.
Exactly. He's
So it's like there's so
behind
much you
all
can't
of
just
these-
keep taking shot after
Exactly.
shot after shot after shot.
And
then the
KD's
coaching
better than-
questions.
Exactly.
The
Like,
problem
it's
is
a lot.
there's not enough talk of the coaching questions. I'm like, Nets
I
fans are
think
the only
Kevin-
ones
I
talking
think
about it.
Nash should get a lot more blame for this, but my point is the season as a whole, the whole reason they're even in this situation, playing Boston in the first round, is mainly because of Kyrie Irving. Because James Harden might still be here if it wasn't for James Harden.
But I don't
Bro,
want
he was
James
playing
Harden. Do you
terrible.
see this James Harden?
He is.
Well, wait, hey,
Playing
you can say what you want about James Harden, but he's still playing playoff basketball right now, and
Not
KD
because
and
of
Kyrie
him.
are.
But not
That's
because of him.
because of him.
Not because of him.
But that team was constructed for Harden, Kyrie, and KD.
But he was
And they had
playing
to-
terrible.
He was playing terrible. But
The problem-
but
you
James
can't
Harden
go-
is still
hold on a second.
giving Philly
You
more than Ben Simmons is.
You cannot, you literally cannot give someone blame if they're not giving the output. You're giving blame off of what could have been. He was supposed to be a factor, but he didn't output that. He didn't put out that he didn't put out good games.
The
So his
problem,
output on the floor, on the court versus what he was supposed to do are night and day. So you can't say, oh, with James Harden on this team, they were supposed to be in a better spot. Yes, they were supposed to, but in actuality, he didn't put out a great product of game on the floor. So
if Philly
but it's
doesn't make
hard
that
to-
Ben Simmons trade and they're in the spot they're in right now, they're probably up. They're probably in the next round already. Because then you still have Seth Curry, you still have Drummond. Ben's not a factor, but then you get better shooting, better spacing on the floor on a team that doesn't have great spacing, and a good backup to bring in and just be a body in Drummond.
But from a Brooklyn perspective, it's hard because we don't know if Kyrie playing and Kyrie being there, maybe, I don't know, maybe that gets James motivated. Maybe that gets Harden
But James isn't motivated now.
Well, we don't know. He was
No,
motivated
but he
last
did
year.
no, but
And
he
then
did
he
say
got
part
hurt.
of the reason he did say he was James Harden did publicly say he wasn't happy or wasn't crazy about the Kyrie situation. You know?
I understand that, but what's his excuse now?
Oh, he's lazy.
No.
Like all his faults are, it's all sprinkled in.
So, like, I'm not
But
going to sit here
maybe
and complain
Kyrie
about
could
that.
have but he could have masked it.
The real
because-
story of our season is Durant missed 40 days while we were number one
How
in
many
the
games
Eastern
did Durant-
Conference.
But
It's
He
like
missed
25 or
30
something like
He
that.
missed 30 games.
30?
and how
30
many
games?
and how many of
Whew.
those games did Kyrie play?
Oh, I don't have an answer for you. I want to say about 15.
I would say I'm willing to bet it was less than half.
No, yeah, but the thing is,
So again,
whether Kyrie plays or not, because when Kyrie didn't play, number one in the Eastern Conference. And
but
there's
then,
that's
but then
and
they
that's
had
what
to
was
get
there.
rid of. But then they had to get rid of James Harden
Because
and
when
Get rid of him. He wanted to leave.
he
because
literally
of Kyrie
quit.
Irving. That's what I'm getting
But
to.
like Kyrie
Yeah.
was playing
because
games.
of Kyrie.
We're
But
losing
that's what I'm
games.
saying. But
to
you're having it both
Sacramento.
ways. You're having it both ways. You can't tell me that. Well, if Harden and if Kyrie plays the whole season and Harden's there, then he was playing like a bum, and they would have still been like this. But then when Kevin Durant doesn't play and Kyrie doesn't play and Harden's gone and they suck, they don't have nobody on the team. Well, Harden would have been there if Kyrie was like. You can't give me both. Like if Kyrie,
But you also
convince
can't just
me-
pick one.
But you can't convince
If
me
I
that if
can't get
Kyrie
both,
plays
you
this
can't
whole
have
season,
one.
If Kyrie plays though, they're better than the 7 seed. They're not in the play-in.
Absolutely, but
they're
that
not
also
in the
doesn't happen
play-in.
if Durant plays.
Even if Durant gets hurt. That's what I'm saying. Even if Durant gets hurt.
The problem
with
is I got
Kyrie,
to see a
that
bunch
team-
of games with Kyrie Irving
But
playing,
you didn't get to
and
see
they
an
still
extended
lost.
amount. But you didn't get to see an extended amount of games. You got to see Kyrie.
I got to see
in parts. I'll play here
especially-
on Tuesday, then I'll play on Sunday, then I'll play Wednesday, then I'll play next Monday. Like that's no rhythm. That's nothing. That was the
This was a
problem I
whole
had
part-time
with
schedule.
him being part-time. Was it's too sporadic to get any kind of cohesion.
That stretch with Durant first got injured was literally nothing but road games with James Harden, and we still weren't winning those games. So, like, what's the excuse there? With Kyrie Irving on West Coast trips, with Kyrie Irving and James Harden, you're not winning games. So what's the excuse there?
Well, I mean, honestly, when you think about it, because I know exactly what stretch you're talking about. You know, honestly, at that point, that was the Sacramento at Sacramento. Then I was at Utah. I remember that stretch. At that point, James Harden was already mentally checked out. Like he was already done. Personally.
But like at that point, that James Harden is still what's playing in the NBA right now. And if you put that James Harden on this Nets team, there's no difference in this outcome to me. There's literally zero difference in this.
So you think they still would have gotten swept if James Harden was
one? So what would have James Harden brought?
He would have brought
he had his space
not
defense
a
lot better.
He was man.
He made Katie's life. He made Katie's life a little bit easier. It's another ball handler.
Easy right now. Because at least we could talk if, ands, or maybes, or we could talk about what's actually factually happening. Stats and facts, as Roz likes to say. Stats and facts. What is he doing to make Embiid's life easy right now? Not a lot. Embiid has a torn ligament in his thumb. And what is he putting up? Fucking 15 points on 30% shooting as a whole?
They're going back to Philly right now, hoping they're going to end this series.
Like, what are we doing here? This James Harden wouldn't have helped us really at all. I can maybe get 15, 10, and 10 from James. Like, what's 15, 10, and 10 going to do for me?
That's the output that you're getting from Seth and the other guys.
I'm getting it. Seth, I'm getting that from in game 2 and 3. I got that from 3 other guys, and not just one. But Harden also takes breaks on defense. And also, when he passes the ball, stands there. At least Seth is moving off of screens. At least Dragic is running around trying to dribble, penetrate, and kick out.
Hey, man, I think it's a wash.
Yeah, it's exactly. Like, there's nothing more James would have brought to this team because the NBA changed how they're calling and keeping James from being 30 points a game off of 20 free throws.
I think it's an easy cop-out to say that it's ultimately the season is ultimately Kyrie's fault because he was part-time. I think it's an easy cop-out. I think that it was a handful of problems with this team. Coaching, staff, and players.
Injuries, lineups, everything.
Injuries is part of the game. You know, they say it all the time, but I just, like, I'm standing on this. I really think that it's just an easy cop to say that the reason why you're in this situation is because Kyrie was part-time.
That's lazy to me. That's lazy to me.
Because your second best player literally missed half the season.
Yeah, that's you can't ignore. You can't ignore half the season.
I think it's a lazy narrative.
Easy cop to say.
Narrative.
But no, but it's
if you take the second best player off of any, look at the Lakers. You took AD off the Lakers and they were terrible.
You put AD on the Lakers and they were terrible. So what's the difference?
I don't know.
That's the difference.
No.
Were they not terrible?
The Lakers were better with AD on the court.
But not by much.
They were better with AD.
They were better with AD on the court.
But yet, the Nets were number 1 in the East without him. That's why I think it's lazy.
It's the same take when Mike goes, "Oh, I think I think that it's an easy cop to just give the fall all to Westbrook, right? Because he's the easy target to look at." It's the same thing with this situation because it's not just the Kyrie Irving situation. Just like it's not just the Russell Westbrook situation.
Kyrie Irving, but Kyrie Irving is the main. He's in the center of all of the issues that you named, except for Kevin Durant getting hurt. He's in the center of all of that. There's no way they hire Steve Nash without his cosign. There's no way that happened.
I think they happened without Kyrie. It happened without Kyrie.
But hold
There's
on,
no
Dylan.
way.
But what's the difference in here is that when he got on the floor, he did his job. The difference with Westbrook with being, oh, I'm erratic and I'm saying certain things in the media and I'm an easy blame. I'm also not putting it out on the court. So it's an easier target and I'm giving more of an issue to the team versus where I have my beliefs. I'm not gonna get this shot. So because I'm not getting this shot, I'm not playing, right? But when I am able to play, my input on the team matters because I am projecting, I'm scoring, we're winning games, I'm doing my job still at a high level.
You're making my point. The best he's not available.
Hmm.
So if he was available, all of the things that you said he was doing, they would have
Hmm.
had more of, and they would have had a better record. They would have had a better situation.
Yes, true, but my statement still remains. I think that it is a easy cop to say that this entire season is because Kyrie was part
It's
time.
you can't
The
ignore
entire
Kevin Durant.
season,
You
the
can't
entire
ignore. I
season.
just said you can't ignore Kevin Durant getting hurt. That
Thank
he's
you.
their best
But
player.
that to
But
me is more important than Kyrie Irving.
but having your second best player also miss half the season also dramatically hurts the team. Whether
But
or
What
not
about
James
your
Harden is
second best
before they
effective,
player?
whether or not if he's effective or not, if Ben Simmons is there, no matter you put James Harden
before
there, you
they
put Ben Simmons there. Kyrie's the second best player on that team.
Yeah.
He's the,
before
he's the second best player on the team.
before they even gave the best second player to Kyrie Irving and they had James Harden, this was a trio. This was a dynamic trio. So if Kyrie is out, James Harden is supposed to pick up that slack because at one point in time they were parallel. So you can't
But
just say, oh, because
I
your
can
second
just
best
say that because I saw it.
yo, who is James
Dylan,
Harden? He's an
Dylan,
MVP. Kyrie's not an
I'm
MVP.
gonna ask Dylan this question. Dylan, if you substitute James Harden getting hurt and Kyrie getting hurt last year, does Brooklyn beat Milwaukee?
Because of the version you got. Prior to him coming to that Nets team, prior to him coming to that Nets team, that version hey, Dylan, prior to the version of James Harden that you got on this Nets team, would you have said that, oh, he is trash, he's a bum?
No,
You would have never said that.
But
no.
would you have said he's better than Kyrie?
They were parallel. If James Harden was a MVP scoring, averaging 30. Kyrie has never averaged 30 points, triple double a season.
No,
Never.
so if last season what we got, James Harden was a better player than Kyrie Irving because of the role that he took on. He took on the role that Kyrie couldn't play, which was the facilitator who could also give you fucking 40 whenever he wanted to, right? Kyrie can't do that. But Kyrie Irving also was more important to that team than James Harden was. Because if when Harden went out, it was still Nets in 5. It was still Nets in 5 regardless.
There was no doubt that Brooklyn.
There was no doubt. And then Kyrie got hurt.
Kyrie got hurt, and that's when that series changed.
And then we got James Harden back, who James Harden is still playing like that James Harden from that series.
He's still playing like that, like his hamstring still hurt. He's still playing like that. But my whole
the difference is that James Harden in that series was trying.
Yeah, he was trying. he was trying. I'll give him that. He was trying.
He was trying his damnedest. But this James Harden not.
Kyrie's the second best player on the team. There was literally points of this season where Brooklyn did not have their best two players on the team. That is what my point is. Whether it was when Harden was there, whether it was when Simmons were there were stretches when Brooklyn did, until KD came back, there were stretches where they didn't have their best two players on the team.
Or any of the players that they traded for on the team.
They had bad injuries. They had it. But you get what I'm saying. Like, when you lose your best two players, that's going to significantly hurt the team. And my thing is, he is to be held responsible for some of that because he voluntarily did not play. He could have ended that at
I'm not
going to
say he's not. He doesn't deserve any blame.
He deserves some blame. He deserves for this season. And there's playoff series because, like I said, after he turned heel in game 1 and wanted to embrace the evil, never heard from him again. They clamped him up.
I'm not going to make excuses for anybody.
So
even though there are built-in excuses for Kyrie right now,
Kyrie gets some blame for this.
Yes, I agree. And I still to this point have never doubted or went against that he does not deserve blame. I never went against the fact that he deserved blame.
I think majority blame is kind of fucked up.
That was my point. I don't think that this entire season is blamed on the back of Kyrie Irving because he was part-time. That's going to continue to be my stance. I don't think that the whole season is to blame for Kyrie Irving being part-time when there was a bunch of things and other factors that caused this season for the Nets to be the way that it was.
For me, it was the KD injury. Because whether Kyrie played or not, we were still first in the East. And that cushion we built is what got us to where we were.
But that's my argument. If Kyrie's full-time, that cushion saves you from this playing.
Yeah,
because
I don't think so.
You can't tell me Kyrie's not going to get y'all some of them games.
No.
I don't think so because James Harden was playing dog shit.
I don't care about James Harden. I care about Kyrie.
You need to care about James Harden.
When Kyrie is on the floor, he was better. You will be a better team because you have a better player.
But
Patty Mills doesn't have to score 25.
From Kyrie played from the jump. You have Kyrie Irving, and then who else is on the court with him? James Harden, who at the beginning of the season was playing like dog shit. James Harden, who, okay, from the whole season to this point played like dog shit. James Harden, who in the playoffs is currently playing like shit. James Harden. So whether you want to blame Kyrie Irving or not, if Kyrie Irving plays, he's still giving you 25 plus a game, right? But you still have to rely on your others to win you games and to play. And when your third guy, who is James Harden, who was turning over the ball, shooting a career low from the three-point percentage since he's been in the NBA, lower than his rookie year, shooting a career low three-point percentage, his free throw attempts are down 5. He's shooting the lowest he's done from the field since his rookie season. I'm supposed to sit here and believe that Kyrie Irving is going to drag that bum into wins.
Yes.
I'm not. No, exactly.
He's going to fix some of that. Harden's not going to have the ball.
He still hasn't fixed it.
Wait, hold on. I'm confused. Like, maybe I'm not hearing this right, but I completely agree with Mike here on this. Like, I don't understand how that's not a big situation right there. The man missed half the season.
Situation. We're not saying it's the main catalyst of it.
No, but that is the main catalyst because not only did he miss half the season, again, you're talking about the cohesion too. You're talking about the fact that he's playing one day, then 3 days later he's not playing. Then back to back, he's not playing one game. This one's on the road, or this one's at home. He can't play. Come on, man. So in essence, we're talking about more than half the season he's being affected, whether he's playing on the court or he's even off it. Like, come on now.
Not to mention, up until December, January, he couldn't even practice when they were home. So he couldn't even practice with the team. He can only practice with them when they're on the road. Like, all of that little stuff adds up. And again, my point, I don't understand. Like, as bad as James Harden played, Kyrie helps alleviate some of the bullshit.
He does.
He helps.
So,
because
I'm not saying he doesn't help, but I'm not going to say
doesn't have to score 25. Before Joe Harris got hurt, Claxton doesn't have to do all
the other players don't have to work.
They don't have to do as much to make up for James Harden playing like shit.
And you're talking about
most of those guys were hurt at the same time.
No, but the thing is, Kyrie can drop
as long as Kyrie wasn't playing. Like, that's the point.
How many games did Kyrie Irving miss this year?
I don't think Kyrie played more than 35 games this
year. Yeah. You're talking about a player who can drop 35 in his sleep, and you're not getting that production for half the season, man.
But I can only worry. So here's how I see it. I can only worry about what's in front of me, right? And if I know Kyrie's not in front of me, I'm not counting for 25 points a game. I have to worry about the fucking MVP that's on my team who's taking a dive, right? Whether Kyrie's there or not, I understand it's a problem. He needs to be there. Yada, 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 fucking yada. Get it, right? Cool. I understand. He one of the most skilled players of all time, get me 60 whenever, is now the franchise leader in points in the game, blah, blah, blah. Understand that. Great. Right? But at the end of the day, I can guarantee you half of those games that we won or we lost, we still don't win or lose those games. Like, I don't think the outcome changes.
I don't know. That's where we
Because
disagree.
there's a stretch where it's like,
games.
oh, Nick Claxton's out. He can't play. Oh, in that same stretch, oh, Seth Curry missed a ton of time. Oh, in that stretch, Patty Mills finally gets his rest and he doesn't get to play. So it's just one on one on one on one on one.
But the point to that is Kyrie is a superstar. Kyrie can literally make up for that.
Yeah, he can make up for that, man.
But when in his career has he? When Kyrie as a number one guy, let's bring it all in. Let's bring it all in, right? Let's all bring it in. When Kyrie is a number one option, how well has he ever done?
He's never made the playoffs as a number one.
Never done great as a number one option. When he was in Boston, when he was the number one option, the team threw him to the dust when he got hurt because everybody elevated without him. So we're going to sit here and you're going to tell me, a guy who knows Kyrie Irving's career as a number one option, that they're going to win games with him as a number one option when history tells me otherwise.
Well, you're talking about entire season, though. We're just talking about a stretch of the season.
Kyrie only played 30 games, so we're going to talk about the entire season.
So literally, my point, you're telling me if Kyrie doesn't play 20 more games, that Brooklyn's not in this play-in, and all of this whole season is different. If Kyrie plays 20 more games, it only gives you 50. You tell me Brooklyn's not in a better spot?
If Kyrie's playing in some of these games where Durant's out in that 40-game stretch, we're probably the 5 seed.
That's a huge difference, even
That's
then.
That's
a big difference.
But it's not. Because how many games separated the 5 and the 7 seed, damn it? How many games?
But you're playing Philly right now.
You're playing Philly right now. You guys will be playing Philly.
And I just saw y'all ran Philly off the
court. Yeah. Y'all destroyed Philly. Y'all destroyed Philly, man. And especially with that tension between Kyrie and Harden.
I'm not going to sit here and give Kyrie the majority of the blame. Because James Harden plays like James Harden.
James Harden ends up staying on the team if that happens.
Exactly. So, but if James Harden is James Harden when the season starts, I don't even have to worry about it because the Nets lost fucking 7 games to start the season because James Harden couldn't get a fucking basket.
Look, no one here is defending James Harden. I mean,
you guys vehemently blaming Kyrie, you are disemboweling anything James Harden did.
Dude,
James Harden, to me, deserves more blame than Kyrie Irving because he was playing and he quit. Instead of saying, let me put my big boy pants on and let me carry. Just like I did on the West Coast trip the year before, where KD and Kyrie were out. I went and averaged a 30-point triple-double in Phoenix, in Sacramento, in LA, in Utah. And carried that team with nobody but fucking Joe Harris and fucking Nick Claxton. Went in there, balled out, went home, got Kyrie back, went on a little run. But where was that James Harden? I had James Harden for what, 30 games? Around 30, 40 games before he finally got traded? And I got dog shit. I'm not going to blame the guy who's not playing because the government won't allow him. Because he doesn't want to get the shot. I will blame the guy who's playing like dog shit, who is supposed to be a superstar. And when he was asked to be a superstar, he fucking quit. That's where I will put my blame to. And then I will put my blame on Kevin Durant getting hurt. Because when Kevin Durant gets hurt, I need to rely on my guy who is playing. My best in the worlds. My top 5 players. My, most skilled offensive player of all time. Remember when that was a fucking thing? That's the guy I'm going to lean on. And guess where he went? Oh, I'm going to average fucking 18, fucking 7 turnovers and not score shit and shoot fucking 30% total. Like, that's the guy who I'm going to rely on? No. And then comes my Kyrie Irving not playing. There's my hierarchy because I can only care about and control what's in front of me.
No, I see what you're trying to say because, again, I respect what Kyrie was doing and why he missed those games. And you're coming from the standpoint of, well, okay, James Harden actually had the ability to play and he played like dog shit. Because I'm past defending Harden. I can't make any more excuses for him. He's getting destroyed right now as we speak. Like, I'm kind of side-eyeing my computer, and they're absolutely destroying him, ripping him a fucking new one. because he played like absolute dog shit today. He played god awful today.
Nothing.
And I don't know what's going to go on with him. He's shooting poorly. He's turnovers. He's missing shots. He's doing the whole 9 yards. He wants a max extension. They said he wants like $50 million a year.
He missed his extension, so he's going to be a free agent.
Yeah, I don't. He's not getting anywhere near max money with this kind of production. Nope. He needs to drop 30 for the rest of this series for him to just make up for how poorly he's been playing. But I mean,
that's how my blame pie goes. It's cutting thirds.
No, but I do understand what you're saying. But I feel like two things are true at the same time. Yes, I do respect why Kyrie couldn't play, but at the same time, that is the single biggest impact on the Nets season, just based off the sheer number of games he missed. And even when he was playing, you're not getting that consistency. You're not getting that rhythm, man. So you can honestly say it's more than half the season that Kyrie was affected, that the Nets were affected by Kyrie. My bad.
I understand it all. I just don't agree with it. As somebody who actively roots for this team and for all the Nets fans that I know, we're all on the same page when it came to Kyrie Irving. Where it's like, we get it. We're not going to force him. If he's not going to do something, like, we can't worry about it. We're going to worry about what's in front of us. So, like, Kyrie Irving's season started the second he played. So those 30 games that he played, that's what his season was. To us, at least. And to me. The James Harden part of the season is the one that hurt the most. Because the locker room flipped. The second he got traded, the locker room flipped. So it was more of a cancer on that side than anything. That's why that means more to me. Because that team was Kevin and Kyrie's team. And they all wanted it to be Kevin and Kyrie's team.
Exactly.
But James is the one who was also trying to change it too. And that's what people are forgetting. Where James was trying to be the guy and take the ball away from Kevin and Kyrie and isolation and less ball movement. Granted, the playoffs isn't a great little thing for it because we didn't do great ball movement this whole series. It's not like James Harden would have helped that at all anyway. But like, he wanted to change the philosophy that was built in the regular season. And the locker room hated it. And Bruce Brown emerged once Harden got traded and became this guy who was actively contributing. So when you're holding guys in the locker room down, where Bruce Brown was also out of the rotation completely because of James Harden.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where that impacts the team and the roster more. Because now you have more lineups in 50-something games in the season who just weren't playing together because of dumb rotations. That's where that gets more blame for me.
You swear Ben Simmons was the biggest issue based off what you be reading these days.
It's so irresponsible to be covering Ben Simmons the way they're covering him.
I
don't mean to bring it up, but it's just like I can't not avoid a headline of just people just ripping Ben Simmons.
And like, I'm not going to even sit here as a homer, as a Nets fan, because Ben Simmons may be on the team, but he's like not a Net because he's never stepped foot on the court. Right? So like, I'm not going to sit here and cape for the guy, but like,
he gets like I said, he gets 2% blame from me because
but like,
the only reason he gets 2 is how do you get hurt when you're not playing? Like, you got to be better than that. You can't get hurt.
But he has back problems.
But has he had a history of back problems?
He has.
He does, but you cannot get hurt when you're.
My brother's.
That's the only responsibility he had.
Where he's been like, oh, he just don't want to play.
His job was literally to
do money. And I'm like, you could go after the Philadelphia 76ers for your money in your contract and also play, right? You can do both. Neither one is mutually exclusive, right? And if you're actually having mental health problems, again, I'm here for you, right? I get it. But then it's like, you can also be physically hurt at the same time as not being there mentally. Like, both of those things can be realistic. And what happens if Ben Simmons is like, I'm going to get surgery on my back in the offseason?
A lot of people are going to get quiet. Ain't nobody going to say sorry.
Everybody's going to get real fucking quiet.
And nobody going to say sorry then.
And that's fucking rude because and it's going to suck because the last thing you remember Ben Simmons about is him getting fucking booed off the court because of his poor playoff that he had. But it's like, if the kid's actually hurt and this is what the media is doing, Like Reggie Miller is mad irresponsible for saying that he doesn't have a
tore his ass up.
He tore his ass up. But where's the hate for Zion, who is actually on the court pregame, 360 windmill?
That's coaching. They don't want to play him. That's not him. He's begging them to play him. They just won't play him.
There's not playing. Where's Jamal Murray? Jamal Murray's been cleared, not playing. But we're only hearing from Ben.
I think it's more of a mental thing with Jamal Murray because again, you're coming off a torn ACL. That's
but Ben isn't mental?
No, I didn't say that.
I know, but I'm just saying it into the world, right? If we're gonna cover one guy one way, there has to be consistency.
Yeah,
but he has a bad rep. He has a bad rep from that Philly situation.
But like, here's the thing: I don't care. Like, I want my basketball coverage to be consistent. If you're gonna give Ben one thing, I want to see that same energy for Zion. If you're gonna give Zion one thing, I want to see that same energy for Jamal Murray. I want to see it consistently for it because it's not fair to Ben. It's not, and for it to be happening when he's only finally been available to talk to media as of Tuesday since he's been on the team.
And now,
but the way people are, the way people are looking at it, it's like, okay, you see the reports. Ben saying Game 4, I'm ready. I'm going to be back for Game 4. I'm going to be back for Game 4.
Did he say that?
But did he say that?
He said he's shooting for it.
That's irresponsible.
No, but it was getting closer and closer to damn near a unofficial confirmation.
I mean, I'm sure it was getting close, but like
it was like the closest thing to a confirmation.
But the real problem
is fault for letting
the
that
Nets
slip.
have never actually come out and said it.
Well, Woj said it, so that's
Woj
basically said it.
If you're gonna come out here and actually like, to me, I listen to every press conference. Every time Steve Nash has been asked about Ben,
he's not ready.
He's like, he's not playing. I don't know where you're getting this stuff from, but he's not ready.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Who's gonna play. I don't know. I don't know.
He's like, he still hasn't even practiced. Like, Ben Simmons literally has played his first 4-on-4 practice this week.
4-on-4. Like, he's not even scrimmaging. So I don't know.
The players are like, we don't know. We don't think so. We're preparing for no Ben.
I've been saying it for 2 weeks. I said that boy is injured, and they're rushing it. And Dylan goes, I mean, they wouldn't say anything if they were rushing it. I said it's rushed. I said it's gonna be rushed. Then when he comes Game 4, and if he comes now, it's rushed. I said rush then, rush now. He should not be playing this series. If they somehow push this to 7 games and find a way to fight it and win this series, he should not even touch this series still. He should wait until the next series to even play.
If Ben played this series, he would have gotten crucified.
I know, because he would have been crucified because they would have been running circles around him.
It wouldn't even just been that. He'd only be playing 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So what? And then he'd get shit on. Like, why is he only playing 15 minutes? What is he doing?
Why is he on the court if he can only play that few minutes? Why even put him out?
It was a lose-lose for him to come in because he's not.
Like I said, that's why I don't blame him.
It would be very minimal impact for him to have come back and played, because what is he gonna do in that 15 minutes? He's gonna grab maybe 5 rebounds, make life hard on a couple. Maybe exactly make life hard on a couple different defensive possessions. Maybe rotate on a screen, but and run in transition a little bit, but like it's not a massive impact. So like I don't know what they're expecting from Ben Simmons.
I don't know. It's just because again, it's like they literally said he pulled off one of the biggest heights. They said he's a sucker. They said he's one of the worst. Yeah, they said he's one of the worst teammates you can ever have. Like literally one of the worst teammates. Like just.
But that's all.
That's all emotion. There's no facts or anything about any of the statements that anybody's been saying. The only
they just think he's bullshitting pretty much.
Trust in NBA media at this point is JJ Redick.
JJ Redick for 3.
Because JJ is the only guy who's actually played with Ben. He's the only guy who knows what it's like in that locker room. He's the only guy who actively is still talking to active NBA players and coaches in front offices.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows like how the league is. So all these talking heads like Stephen A and Perkins, I've lost all respect for. Skip,
Perkins.
fucking Mad Dog, all these guys who are just talking out their ass for anything is wild to me. It's absolutely wild to me that like the NBA is supposed to be a brotherhood and this is like the shit that's happening.
Well, Skip doesn't surprise anybody, but like,
well, you're Skip. Well, like it's absolutely ridiculous that it's super irresponsible because if it comes out that Ben's getting surgery on his back for whatever reason, I don't think he's going to. But like if that were to be the situation that happens, every single person who said anything about Ben Simmons needs to apologize.
And
and he should also sue.
He said he should.
I'd be suing everybody for defamation of character. Because it's not like you don't have proof. You literally have proof all over the internet and talk shows. You could sue networks. You could sue the heads. Like, if I'm Ben, I'm just going to get surgery on something.
Well, the best way to silence the critics is on the court, man. So we'll see what happens next season.
If Ben Simmons is a bum when he gets on the court, he's out of Brooklyn real quick. They'll trade him for a fucking thing of honey buns, and they'll send him to James Harden.
He needs to
a bag of honey buns for James Harden, and you can have him.
If he stinks it up, he needs to hide next year. They are going to eviscerate him.
He will get relegated.
But again, better not turn him.
He's on my team, but he's not a net yet. That's how I see it. He's on my team, but he's not a net yet because he hasn't stepped on the court. So I'm not going to sit here and defend him as a net like I would cape for Kyrie, that I have been caping for Kyrie, and for Kevin, or Seth, or Andre, or LaMarcus, or Blake, or Bruce. I will cape for all those guys. Ben doesn't get the cape yet because he hasn't played. When he plays, and he plays well, I'll cape. But until then, figure it out.
Sorry if I just went silent there. At the time of this recording, Dallas is just destroying Utah.
Yeah, I turned that game off like at the beginning.
Luka just tried to put Hassan Whiteside on a poster, and Whiteside had none of it and knocked Luka to the floor. And Dallas wanted to act like a bunch of tough guys, and I was just waiting to see if somebody was going to throw a punch because Hassan Whiteside's low key kind of crazy. So I'm surprised that he didn't throw a punch because he looked like he was ready because Reggie Bullock, stop. I know you from a Knick. You're not that guy. You're not that guy.
It's almost like somebody in this podcast has been shitting on Utah since like game 20.
And he's getting proven right. I
may not be right a ton, especially when it comes to like my team, because I have to be a fan and I have to be biased. But when it comes to my coverage of everybody else, I'm pretty solid, dude.
I mean, Gobert's having an okay game, 17 and 11 right now.
Man, that's great.
I know.
He's still a bum. He's still a bum.
Hey, man, that's that $205 million production, man.
Yeah,
don't hate on
it. Yeah, I'll hate on it. But,
analytic darling.
Bum. But now that Brooklyn's out and we can move on, I can be a fan of just basketball.
But before you go, Dylan, I have to put these up for you.
I'm graceful in victory and also defeat. I will hold all L's because this year I was not as brash as I was last year because I knew something like this was bound to happen.
You was brash this year. You just knew. You just knew Kevin Durant's the best player in the world. Kevin Durant's the best player in the world.
And to me, he still is. He didn't have a great series, but
he is not the best player in the world.
Hey, one series doesn't define a player.
I didn't think he was at the beginning of the year.
Well, I'm glad. Good for you, Michael. I'm glad you're happy. But now that my team's out, I no longer have a vested interest, and I can go and change my predictions because Brooklyn's not in here and they're not going to win the finals. So Boston's going to the NBA Finals.
Oh,
wow!
They're going to beat Milwaukee.
I think they beat Milwaukee. And this isn't even they beat.
What's the home court in that series again? Is that Milwaukee or Boston? Boston. Oh yeah, they're the 2 seed. Yeah,
that's Boston not even me sucking on them because they smashed us out there. Like I said earlier, Ime is the best coach in the Eastern Conference besides Spoelstra. And watching a game plan like that shut down a guy who's really never had a playoff series this bad in his career in close to 15 years since his rookie season or since the season they got in 2010 where they got beat by the Lakers, who won the title that year. I think defensively they're gonna make everybody else beat them but Giannis. Yeah, they're gonna sit there and try to force Giannis into double teams, but they're young and athletic enough to close out on the 3-point shooters, which I got to see firsthand. I don't think they have an answer for Tatum offensively at all.
But Drew Holiday plays good defense, though.
I saw Drew Holiday get cooked every single time in a playoff series against Kyrie Irving, and he's bigger than Kyrie Irving. Tatum is a whole 6 inches taller than Drew Holiday and will be shooting over him all game.
I think that comes down to
he's been playing good on DeRozan.
But DeRozan's game DeRozan can't really shoot. He can shoot the midi. He can't shoot the three. So you have to watch the drive and the pull up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tatum also will use his size down on the block.
As we saw tonight.
DeRozan's predictable. That's his problem.
Exactly, because he can't shoot the three well, and he's either going to pull up or drive.
No, he's just going to pull. I was watching the game.
Tatum's got an elite bag.
Over and over.
Tatum has an elite bag.
He really does.
I said when Tatum got drafted, he's going to average 30 at some point. And I think next year's probably going to be that because Jason Tatum's probably going to be top.
Yeah, but we talk about Tatum all the time.
Next year.
Jaylen Brown needs to get his flowers. Al Horford definitely needs to get his flowers.
Al Horford is going to be massive in that Milwaukee series.
Oh, yes, he absolutely
massive.
Is. The way
who's also going to be huge in that Milwaukee series? Fucking Robert Williams.
And Marcus
Robert
Smart.
Williams is going to fucking slaughter that series because he gets a little bit of rest now. They get to chill out, practice, prepare. They have a big rotation of Horford, Tice, and Williams that are going to be trying to make Giannis's life fucking difficult. And I really think they have length. They have length, and they're all smart. And again, they have the best coach in the Eastern Conference. They're going to force Bud to Bud.
I think it's going to come down if Chris Middleton plays.
If Chris Middleton doesn't play, then it's a
Donovan Mitchell.
Whoa, don't just go throw your hands up on that. Because let's not act like they just absolutely just destroyed Chicago 8 different ways on the road.
Chicago's not that good. Yeah. It's amazing Chicago won the game.
Chicago's not that bad, all right?
But Chicago's also not that good. That's the difference.
Chicago's good. I think Zach LaVine and Lonzo being hurt is why we're seeing what we're seeing.
Exactly.
Well, Zach LaVine's always hurt, man. When is that motherfucker any healthy, man? He's always got a knee problem. Lonzo got a knee problem too. They all got knee problems, man.
The thing, Boston can afford to have times where their best players aren't on the court because of the effort that they get from their bench.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I hate Grant Williams. Like, fucking hate Grant Williams. But he's a good defender. Like, they had 3 guys on their team.
He's gonna
hit that 3. He's gonna hit that 3.
He's a really good 3-point shooter, and he's gonna be open. They have 3 guys on that team that are probably gonna be on all NBA defensive teams. Like, Grant has a chance to make it. Smart's gonna make it, and Time Lord's gonna make it. And JB's a good defender. Like, I think defense, they're gonna give Milwaukee fits because they can rotate.
I just think if Chris Middleton plays, Milwaukee wins. If Chris Middleton doesn't play, Boston will win.
Even if Chris Middleton plays, he's coming off of the injury, so he's not going to be hot off the rip. That'll give Boston a chance to steal too.
What's the time? What's the time?
They say he was going to be evaluated in 2 weeks.
Yeah, so that's not even be able to play.
What game? He was injured. What, game
2?
Yeah, game 2. What day was game 2 again? What day was that?
He's looking at like
Wednesday.
He's looking at like game 4, game 5. He's on Ben Simmons' timeline.
But like, if you're looking at a reevaluation, that's not a hey, you're clear to play.
That's just reevaluation.
That's a hey, you'll be good in like another week or 2.
But Time Lord came back early.
But he looks like he came back early.
I don't know. I didn't think he played bad tonight.
I didn't think he played, but he played good, but he didn't play as good as he has been.
But yeah, but I mean,
but that's because he's coming off of an injury.
Exactly. Like, but
now he's going to have time.
But that's the thing. If Chris Middleton ramps up like at that pace, if he comes, it depends on when he comes back.
It all depends on how the rest of the first round is moving.
Yeah.
If Milwaukee wins,
Milwaukee needs
to close the series.
Milwaukee needs to close the series, which I think they'll do. But they need Atlanta to drag this. They need
Toronto.
They need Memphis. They need Toronto to drag this. They need
because that Eastern Conference second round will start if the West isn't done.
Yeah, they'll start one series. They'll start one, but they need Memphis and Minnesota to go 7, which I think it will. Denver's done. Phoenix, New Orleans could go long. So I mean, there's a chance for them to get. They might be able to sneak.
But they're going to start.
I could see them starting next
Milwaukee
Friday.
Series first.
I could see them starting next Friday. I could see a world where next Friday, maybe Wednesday, maybe a week. So you get an extra week. Every day counts.
That Pelican series.
I was just transitioning into that, James. How do we feel about this series? Because I would say my CP3 panic level, as everyone knows in here, CP3 is one of my favorite players. I would die on that CP3 hill. And his window is definitely closing. And I would say my panic meter for Phoenix is probably at about, from 1 to 10, I'm probably at about a 6, maybe. 5.
I talk a lot about inevitabilities on this podcast, right? Philly is having their inevitable Joel Embiid injury, unfortunately, right? Which I predicted before the playoffs started.
Hey, man. We all predicted it. We know.
But I'm the one who put it out into the world.
We all predicted that.
And Anthony also said that he was on borrowed time.
That's not a hard prediction to make. It's every damn postseason. Come on.
It's more of for me. It was more of it's gonna happen because he didn't get hurt in the regular season, because he usually misses a bunch of time in the regular season. So it's bound to happen. But the other inevitability in this playoff, this first round, is the inevitable Chris Paul injury. That happens every year. Last year he was able to play through it because he had Book. Now he doesn't have Book, because the injured teammate inevitability is also a thing that he had throughout his long, illustrious career in LA, where he's always having an injured teammate on top of
him. Then it's Blake. If it was
exactly.
Blake, then it was Chris. It was.
But I'm hoping Chris Paul is able to fight through it, because we also have the Scott Foster, where he literally never won a game officiated by.
Is he officiating Game 5?
Better not. He better not officiate any of the elimination games. That's all I know.
Scott Foster will be, if he's not there to officiate, he'll be there in attendance. Because for whatever reason, Scott Foster hates Chris Paul. But Jose Alvarado, he's balling.
I think we're seeing
we're
seeing the birth of the new Patrick Beverly. That's what we're seeing.
And the boy Herb.
He's a Spanish Patrick Beverly.
That's what
and the boy Herb too.
Herb Jones.
Herb's playing good.
Herb's playing great. Alvarado's
the problem
playing great.
is, they have nobody. Mikal Bridges is getting hooked up by Brandon Ingram, and I didn't see that. I thought Brandon.
Yeah, but you can't.
He's also taking a step.
But Ingram's going to get him. He's going to get him.
Exactly. But I mean, it's he's not scoring though. Bridges.
He's getting buckets.
Bridges is just out there right now.
BI's getting
but the reason why
down the court.
My panic meter is low. It's 2 or 3. Personally for me, again, Chris Paul's not scoring 4 points a game. Yeah, he could be washed. He could be 37 years old, all that stuff. He's not scoring 4 points a game. That's just not going to happen.
The panic level. Go ahead.
And my thing is, Cam Johnson's, he's been providing offense for the Suns. He was in foul trouble. I don't know if y'all caught this, but that hurt the Suns in Game 4. He got into foul trouble. He had to get taken out the game. He was hitting his threes. He was hitting his shots. And then also, Jay Crowder. He kind of got his shot back too. He was going cold, and he started getting his buckets too. So I think Chris Paul is going to get back to form. Again, the other players, they're going to play. The other role players are going to play better at home. Because, again, Phoenix, they did what they needed to do. They got one in New Orleans. They reclaimed the home court advantage. Chris Paul going to go back to form. Ayton's going to do his thing. I think that Suns core they're going to win Game 5. I don't see them winning Game 6, but they'll take care of it in 7 games. I don't think there's much to panic about, personally.
If you get to Game 7, there's a lot to panic about.
Well, I just think it's too much for Phoenix to overcome that atmosphere without Book. Like, and again, I just go off of the fact that the role players just play better at home. You know, that's just how I look at it personally.
That team, we all said early on in the beginning of our picks for the playoffs that, at least I said, that Mikal Bridges was going to be the X factor, and the fact that he is not performing like the X factor is saying a lot. This is a guy that we were considering to possibly be the defensive player of the year, and for him to begin 8-up like this by BI, I mean, you can kind of say that this is supposed to happen because BI is BI, but at the same time, Mikal Bridges was supposed to be defensive player of the year, so it shouldn't be this easy.
It shouldn't be this bad.
I agree. I do agree with that.
So that says a lot. And now with Book being out and the fact that they lost 2 back-to-back games, I mean, it says a lot. You kind of don't want to put too much stock in it because you know the saying, the playoffs have to start until someone loses on their home court. So both teams have held up their homestand, so there's nothing to really panic much there. But the fact that Mikal Bridges is shrinking in this moment, that Book is not there, is showing you that he is more of a role player than we thought.
Mm-hmm. And they need him to step up. Him or, like Anthony said, Cam Johnson. You can't have both of them not playing well. One of them has to play better.
No, but I think Cam Johnson has been. I think Cam Johnson has
a little better, but you need more.
No, you definitely need more. It's that foul trouble that messed him up, though. Like, he was getting into rhythm. Paul was hitting him, and he was hitting some open shots. Like, I just think what messed him up was just, again, he wasn't playing because he just wasn't playing good defense, and that just messed him up. But, you know, Cameron Payne, some of those other guys, they need to step up.
I want to say one thing. There is one person that is stepping up. My guy, DeAndre Ayton. He's balling.
No, he's balling.
He's balling.
Balling, Dylan.
He didn't ball last game. He didn't ball last.
Well, he needs to.
Well, he can't. Valanciunas cannot get 26 and 15. That cannot happen again.
Yeah, I mean,
that's my only concern about Ayton.
That can't happen again.
We heard what they were saying about him. That's what happened that last game, but
that can't happen again. Ayton has played well in this series.
Steven Adams is supposed to be doing against Cat. Steven Adams is supposed to be getting 15 and 23 rebounds, at least 15.
And Steven Adams is
scoring.
Cat is making him look.
I don't want to jump topics. So.
Which is crazy because I love Steven Adams.
I do too.
And what is he doing?
He's old. That's what it is.
How old is he?
He's not even that old. I think he's 30.
Steven Adams is what? He's not old.
Steven Adams has been playing in this league for a minute.
Steven Adams. He can't be that old, though.
I bet you he's over 30.
Steven Adams is 28 years old, Mike.
He's 28.
Then he needs to get some oil in them knees.
I was going to say, he got drafted on what? Yeah. On that OKC team, what, the year before KD left?
He needs to get some oil in them knees.
Yeah.
Cat is making him look real bad.
The problem is Steven Adams is like one of the strongest players in the NBA, like from a strength perspective, where he just picks up grown men whenever he wants. But like he's getting bullied. They're like he literally can't play in this series.
Yeah, no.
Which is wild. You have to force Jaren Jackson to do his best. He's doing a decent job, but like Cat's killing it.
Yeah. And
Cat's having a great job.
Jaren
great
Jack,
series.
And Clark, they're throwing them at him, but they're not enough.
Cat's doing exactly what like we said he needed to do. He needed to get to that space mentally where he's just like, I'm the best. But then he's doing corny shit like putting bass in his voice in post-game interviews.
We're in Minnesota now.
What?
We're in Minnesota now.
We definitely were in Minnesota.
Yeah, we need to make sure we're tough, playing hard, 10 toes down.
Corny.
He's such a cornball. Like, I don't get him. Like, we know that's not how you talk.
No, that's how he talks.
He doesn't always talk like this.
He's a cornball, bro.
I know he's a cornball, but like, Cat, people like you more if you're genuine. Like,
That's
don't do this
him.
tough shit.
Oh, tough? Nah, he's not tough.
Don't do this. This is not you. Stop all this rah-rah. I'm screaming because I'm beating up on fucking Steven Adams. Like, cut the shit. Because you've the only playoff experience you've actually had, you fucking sucked in. So win a series and then talk your shit. Because your next round is gonna be tough. If they win this series, their next round's gonna be tough.
I think
they not winning this series.
Memphis got this.
It's tied, right?
It's tied, right?
It's tied at 2.
But
again, the Timberwolves barely beat the Grizzlies on their home court. So I don't know.
I mean, if we're judging games off of what the point differential is, we're looking at the game wrong. Because there's more to the story than
these two teams done played 6 games already in these 4.
Yeah. So it's a little bit different. We'd be doing ourselves and the fans a disservice by just saying, "Oh well, they only lost by like 4." Yeah, well, that doesn't tell the whole story. If we could go really quickly, we go to the Nets series. The Nets really haven't lost games by like 10. They lost by like the 2 possession games, and that doesn't tell the story of the game at all.
Yeah, man.
Much more that happens to it.
Game 1, man. Game 1 that hurt.
That game 1. I feel like the series should be 3-1 right now. Like, this is.
If Brooklyn wins that game, we're probably still playing.
Well,
the outlook is a little different.
Yeah, I mean.
No, I'm saying like we're probably looking at like a longer series than just like a gentleman sweep. We're probably looking at a 2-2, 2-3 because that's the tone.
There was no gentleman about this.
No, they packed us up with their fucking janitorial truck and everything. We got the fucking garbage can filled with mops, brooms, fucking you name it. They brought the power washer out on us, got us the fuck out of there, scraped us off our fucking home court.
But I gotta ask the real question. We know there's at least 2 games left in this Memphis-Minnesota series. What is the over-under that we're going to have more protesters in this series?
Every game.
Because this is getting ridiculous.
If
I was a player on either Memphis or Minnesota, I would be blowing Adam Silver's phone up. Like, what the hell is going on?
When is
no? But shout out to the security.
How does this keep playing?
Shout out to the security. The way
the football play, the last one, she caught it. It was like he was waiting, like he saw it. He was like, "I wish you would. I wish you would." And then she did it, and he went, "You son of a bitch!"
They need to get a raise. Everybody who did it, they need to get a fucking raise, man. That was so spot on. Like,
because this is wild. I've never seen anything like this.
I mean, hey, it's very political.
It's entertaining.
It is
funny.
very.
It's funny. I'm just saying, if I was a player, I would be mad because, like,
me too.
Stopping my playoff, like it's not
safe.
Safe. You don't know what any of them are gonna do. We're in the middle of a playoff game, and we gotta stop because of this. And I would be
like that was done in a half court set off of rebounds.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's not like she was in a spot that was away. Like, that's a spot on the wing that people go to. Like, that's dangerous.
What's funny is they paid for those tickets, and she was on the floor. That shit is crazy.
But my thing is, like,
wow.
What happened? Like, does a player hit one of these protesters?
They can't if it's going to be women, because every time it's
it's been a female. You can't.
They can't, because Lord, if one of these players hits one of these women for doing this,
or subdues.
It depends on how they do it.
Because what happens if what if the protester gets violent? Like, we don't know what they're actively trying to do. Like, that lady was dressed as a ref.
Well,
underneath
again,
her sweater.
as
a whistle and a fake jersey and everything to be
as a bouncer at nightclubs, there is a way to properly handle the situation.
Oh yeah, let's get the experts' take on it.
Oh yeah.
How do you properly bounce somebody the fuck out of there?
To our expert coverage right here. Expert coverage here on Speak on the Podcast. Anthony, how should these security guards be handling these women that are just
oh God, y'all gonna get me in trouble.
Show us the ways. Teach us the ways.
I'm supposed to give a live demonstration.
Yeah, do it on that on that little thing of oats that you got on your shelf. I wasn't talking about that one. I was talking about the
lower sugar variety, guys. A little health.
Cover the Quaker, no free ads.
What? Oh yeah, you're right.
They don't get that promo here. They're not cutting a check.
Hey, you never know. Maybe someday. You know.
So do you just grab them by the shoulders and lift them?
No, you don't grab them. So yes, we actually had someone who grabbed them by the shoulders and they got fired. it's crazy. Like you be surprised, man. Some dude got fired because he was handling the chicks the same way he handled the dudes. He didn't last very long. You know, there's a certain gentleness you have to, use when you're just trying to subdue a female. You know, if she's getting out of line, you gotta, try to talk to her. You really gotta try and talk some sense into her. If she's not doing that, then yes, you have to. If you're gonna use some pressure on her, it has to be very light pressure, very, very light. Because again, that is a very sensitive situation, right?
There was nothing light about what they did to that girl in the last game.
Anthony's trying to take the shit out of her.
No, but but there's a difference between a girl who's just standing there being whiny, not wanting to leave, and then an actual protester who's running out onto the court. You don't know what the hell she's gonna do. She can harm somebody. You don't know what she has. That's a different situation. They had to just straight up tackle her to the ground.
What's your favorite wrestling move to perform on a woman at a bar?
I don't know. Anthony looks like a rock bottom type of guy.
Oh yeah,
he looks like a rock bottom type of guy.
I was about to say he looks like he's sending some of these bitches to Suplex City.
Well, my favorite wrestler of all time is Eddie Guerrero, so I'm not doing a 5-star frog.
Oh, you're doing the Three Amigos suplex.
Are you doing the Three Amigos?
Frog splash from the top of the bar. Oh, bro.
Top
with
shelf,
you're too big for all that.
With my big ass, that would probably kill me. My big ass. I don't think them little 100-pound white girls can deal with a 300-pound black dude doing a frog splash off the top of the bar. I think I'd be more than fired, a little more than fired. I even just visualized my black ass just doing that shit now too. That was
shut up, Mike.
So there's at least 2 games left. Does anyone want to put some cases on it? Over under 1.5 for the rest of the series.
Over. Give me the over. I'm in. 2 cases.
You want the over?
I want the over. I want 2. 1.5. That means I got to get 2 more.
2 out of 3 games.
Yeah, 1.5. That means in these 3 games we can get 2.
You putting up how many? 2?
2 cases. 2 cases. Give me the over. Life's too short to bet the under. Let's go.
2 is a lot. 2 is a lot.
I know, right?
I might jump in on that.
They raising prices these days and shit too, man.
Do I owe you cases, Dylan?
Huh?
Do I owe you cases? No, right?
No.
I'm only down 4 to James. I'm down 4 to James. I'm +1 on Anthony. I think I'm gonna jump in on that. Dylan.
His face. Fuck, I forgot about that.
No, I didn't. I still asked for your addresses.
Listen, you're still on credit, Anthony.
You literally know my address, Anthony.
No, I don't. I forgot. I'm not good with these damn addresses.
I forgot.
I mean, here's your chance, Anthony. You can wipe it away right now. Take the
under. Or I can be deeper in the shitters.
Just 2.
It's just 2. It's 2 cases.
Bro,
Anthony swears that he's just poverty.
I got bills to pay. I got people to take care of that. I got my family.
He's acting like you want to come calling next week. I want the cases right now. I want it right now.
Oh my god!
James, you want your 4 cases right now? Is that
I do actually. I do.
Yeah.
I would have burned hell.
Yeah,
nah, he has been asking for his yellow Gatorade.
Yo, he's been sending pictures of yellow
He's been sending pictures of
You're not getting it.
I actually want to see you create the order right now because the thing is, Mike is trying to stall until he's back in the positive. That's what order my fucking cases. All right,
we are working on credit.
Mike is waiting to the last game of the season and notice that he's not gonna get in the green. It's gonna be like, your order is being processed. That's basically wait to the last actual game of the season.
I'm not. Are you in on this bet? Are you in on this bet?
I said yes. I said I'll put 2 cases up with that.
What you taking the over or the under?
The over.
You taking it? I'm in.
Were you taking the under?
I'm taking the under.
Oh, okay.
I'm taking the under. 1.5.
All right.
1.5. So I just need.
So you think this season is over in 6?
No, he's talking about protesters.
Protesters.
Yeah. Wait.
Protesters.
Oh, so he thinks that we're not
So
going to see.
it would only be one more. So in order for Mike to win, only one has to have a protest. There's only going to be one more protester. For me to win, we have to get 2. Or for the over to win, we need 2.
Yeah. Even if it's like 2 in one game, which is my worst nightmare. But
I'm taking the over.
Yeah, I feel like your worst nightmare is what I think is reality.
That's my worst nightmare. That especially if it goes 7. Game 7 will scare the shit out of me because they've been too organized with this. They've been too well planned.
They're doing it in Memphis and they're doing it in Minnesota.
And the fact that they hit Memphis in Memphis, this is a nervous bet for me. But I'm gonna take the under.
Does it count if we don't see it on TV and they are reporting it?
Well, no, because social media. Yeah, social media will get it to us.
Okay.
Because they didn't. I don't think they showed the last one, but we know it happened.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So okay.
So yeah, no, I won't deny it like that. No.
I feel like the last game in Minnesota, there's gonna be 3 people at once.
Yeah, Game 6 is scary. Game 6
is because we know it's gonna be a Game 6. Yeah. So it's like.
That might be the last game in Minnesota,
and
they're going to go out with a bang.
Yeah.
So,
wait, what's the official reason behind these protests again? Does it have to do with the Timberwolves owner, right?
It's the Timberwolves owner and how they mistreated the chickens in the chicken coop.
Oh yeah, that's right. Mm.
So PETA going PETA.
We don't want that PETA smoke.
We don't want PETA smoke. I don't want PETA smoke.
We're just going to leave that alone.
Leave it at that.
Are you jumping in on this, Anthony? You jumping in?
I am staying all the way out of this.
Oh,
Anthony be in if it was for a fucking Arizona and a bag of Funyuns.
Bro. Come on, man. I'm working on my life right now, man. Come on. I ain't got time for that. Can't be spending money.
Oh, you don't know how to read.
Oh, can I get a meme made of James's face a few seconds ago? That was great. Oh
my gosh.
Oh, this is the moment you was talking about, Dylan, that you thought they were going to win 106, 109 with the ball.
Yep.
Oh, they cut it to 1. Still will never win.
Mike, you're a dickhead. Now there was a series of possessions where they went back to back 3-pointers, and I was like, "Come the fuck on!"
They just showed the missed free throw again. I kid you not, no one on Brooklyn moved. They all just looked. Dylan, you cannot convince me they did that on purpose.
No, they absolutely did that on purpose.
None of them.
The problem is Durant doesn't know how to shoot the ball to miss the front of the rim. When's the last time you've seen a Kevin Durant jump shot? No, but that's what I'm saying. That's why it's so stupid to me. When's the last time you've ever seen a Kevin Durant jump shot hit the front of the rim? Ever. Never. I've never seen a Kevin Durant jump shot hit the front of the rim. He misses high.
I think them knees was knocking, man. I don't know.
But Kevin Durant's never been that guy whose knees knock. The
And
problem
he's
the
never
problem
been the
is
guy
they
to get
all
shut
got
down in the
together.
series.
They literally got together like, all right, we're going to do this. Okay, cool. Yeah. Miss high.
Shot it, and they all forgot what they just talked about 10 seconds earlier. None of them moved. Blake didn't move. Bruce Brown didn't move. Kyrie didn't move. None of them moved. Not even like they didn't fight for it. They all just looked at the ball.
They were waiting. I'm telling you, it was the ricochet. They're waiting for off the front of the rim. Like, that's how you're supposed to miss on purpose. I don't think Kevin Durant's ever been asked to miss a free throw on purpose before in his career. Like, that's such a wild thing.
I said it in real time. I said, what was the point of him missing that shot if none of them even fought for the rebound?
Like, he's a 90% free throw shooter. Like, you know, I just don't get that.
It's not like Boston has 90% free throw shooters on their team.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, why was that the decision we did? Like, you make that, it's a 1-point game, you foul. Oh, you only need one shot to tie the game now.
It just made no sense. Before we go, Anthony's Hawks, because that's what they are. Anthony's Hawks.
I forgot about that series.
They're semi my Hawks too, because I made the pick that they were going to get out of the series. But these boys
they are on their way. They are on their way. But I mean,
you saw me in the chat earlier. I said,
you thought it too.
Jeez, what was I thinking? Literally had PJ Tucker covering him 90 feet up the court, and then
just to switch him into Bam,
and then switch him into Jimmy Butler. Like, what?
They're putting him in the blender, in the absolute blender,
lamped up, looking like the bum that he is.
They're making an ice tray smoothie because they're putting him in the blender, bro. Everything they can throw at him, he's just throwing shit out. They put him in the blender with the top off because shit's just falling out.
Durant, Harden, and Irving played 2 games together this year.
Durant, Harden,
and Irving.
Harden and Irving played 2 games this year.
Indiana and Chicago.
And they ran Chicago up off the floor. That
was the game that also introduced me what Chicago actually was, which we're seeing. So,
well, I know where this is gonna go, but I'm gonna throw it out there because I'm a nice guy. Anthony, I will give you 10 cases if you take the Hawks for this series. Still, right now, 3-1. 10 cases.
To win the series?
Yep. He picked the Hawks, so nothing changes for him.
He left. He left.
Yes. He has no confidence in that bum Trae Young. He was never gonna take that bet anyway, and he knows that series is over.
He got the fuck out of there real quick. He's like, "Oh, sorry, disconnected."
Disconnected it. My Wi-Fi went down. Yeah, all right.
It's amazing. They're just working on my streetlights at fucking 12:22 in the morning. Oh, he's back.
Oh. Let's see.
Technical difficulty.
Oh, what are they working on your streetlights outside and they cut off your Wi-Fi?
Now that you're back, we're waiting for your answer to Mike.
Yeah, so what was that?
10 cases to take the
Hawks. You picked the Hawks to win the series. I'll give you 10 cases if they win the series.
Hell no, them shit's expensive, man. They raised the price on them shits too.
You ain't got to pay for that.
He'll give you 10 cases.
I'm giving you 10 cases.
Oh, what happens if they don't make it?
I'll do you one better. You only have to give me 3. You only have to give me 3. That's all. Because, Trae Young, you and Shaq, that's your boy.
Nice Trae.
It's chilly in here.
Don't take that long, man.
It's a yes or no answer.
I'm trying to think here. Can y'all let me think? Can I get some silence here?
Actually,
it doesn't take that long.
You don't get silence. But if you want, we have some nice hold music. Some nice hold music. I like to call this one "Feeding the Ducks."
All right, here's what I would do.
Cut the music.
Oh no, I like the song. It's nice and smooth.
I am not going to bet on the Hawks winning this series, but I will do this though. This is what I'd be willing to do. I'd be willing to bet you 2 cases on the Hawks winning Game 5 tomorrow.
Oh,
in Miami.
Didn't expect that.
A counter?
Oh, I did not expect a counter offer.
That is my counter offer right there. I will bet 2 cases,
and that's a good counter offer.
I will bet 2 cases the Hawks win in Miami tomorrow. Game 5.
Because Atlanta could win tomorrow.
Anthony, that's a very fair bet. I'm proud of you. You're an adult now. I know I'm the youngest one here, but you're an adult now.
Okay. I have one more counter for you.
Oh, okay.
I will.
Shark Tank over here.
I will take that bet.
Mm-hmm.
But now, if you win, that means we're now at Game 6, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So now, if we get to Game 6, would you be willing to take my first bet? Because now you'd only need a home game and a Game 7. Because you already got the hard game out the way, which is Game 5.
Yeah. Honestly, I reject it. The only way I would take that bet is if the Hawks win Game 5 and 6. That's the only way I'm going to do it. Then if it comes down to a game,
we're not going to get to Game 7. But you know what?
I'll say, why don't we just take it one game at a time?
Yeah, let's take it
one game at a time. Make a bet for Game 6, and then when Game 7 happens, put it all on the line.
There you go. All right, so there we go. I will bet you. Would you say 2?
I'm the book.
2 cases for Game 5 tomorrow.
2 cases on Game 5 straight up.
Yep, straight up.
That's fine. I will take that.
Look at Anthony. He's growing.
Stepping out here.
He's betting. He's becoming a gambling man.
You're down 1. You're down 1. So when Atlanta loses, you're going to be down 3. Just so you know.
Or if Atlanta wins,
you're plus 1.
You're playing with house money.
Which doesn't mean much because Mike doesn't pay up on his bets. Yeah.
See last week's episode. See last week's episode as to why that is ridiculous.
Man, pay up on my 4 cases, bro.
He really wants his Gatorade.
And Mike, when you do it, I need a video.
Yeah.
I need a video of you getting them.
Like, Mike has driven to my house without GPS. He knows exactly where I'm at. Like, what? Sit in my cases, dog.
It's not my fault I'm a good driver. It's not my fault I'm a good driver.
I need a video of you buying them and delivering them. That way we can let the folks at home see it.
Well, it's gonna be 2. It's gonna be 2 in a couple of days anyway. So.
Okay. We'll see. Until we got 4 protesters at once.
and it's gonna be all them protesters running on, and y'all are gonna be messaging me, and I'm
just like, God damn it!
I'm just gonna be sitting here like this. Where is security? Where are they?
Security, how are they keep getting in these buildings? Man, Peter travels well.
Aren't they disguising themselves as like
they have been disguising themselves?
They've done it all. They've done it all.
It's been unbelievable.
They've been really heavy.
I'm waiting for a chicken suit. I'm waiting for one of these clowns to come in a chicken suit.
They're gonna be the mascot.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is going to be
if they turn out to be the fucking mascot,
I
will lose my mind.
11 type stuff if they pull that.
They got the actual mascot tied up in the fucking janitor's closet with fucking tape around his mouth.
Peter's
in the mascot suit. Peter's in the suit. Oh my god.
Do we need to talk about Golden State Denver? I mean,
no.
I'm sure we're all in unison there.
Golden State's also going to the NBA.
I mean, Denver got their hype win at home. They got their motivational win at home. They got that one game. You know, that's
yeah. I agree. What you do?
Golden State's going to the NBA Finals.
Are we So yeah, we're betting on the.
Wait, so the NBA Finals.
Golden State's going to the NBA Finals.
I mean, that's not a bad prediction, especially if Devin Booker's really hurt. It's not a bad prediction.
And if they keep playing Steph off the bench,
which is not going to last too long because
why wouldn't it though?
Because no one ditched it in Game 4.
Jordan Poole keep playing.
No one.
Right back on that bench.
Did you see what the bench did in Game 4? It did absolutely fucking nothing. It was Curry 32, and then everyone else is like stinker.
Hey, when your bench guy's putting up 32, who fucking cares? So I would like to let the pod know that I'm undefeated playing against members of the pod in video games.
Oh.
Me and James got to play yesterday, and it was a good game.
I would say I said because I know me and Dylan haven't played, so it
was a very good.
It was a very good game.
It was a very good.
I love how you guys simply just ignored this Madden tournament.
It was a very good game, and I also think that I think that game was very telling. But I'm not gonna say anything. Dylan beat me by 3 points. I had the Warriors, Eden. He had the
Hawks.
The Hawks. Yep. This is my first time playing any other mode on the new PlayStation 5 because I only played my player.
Mm-hmm.
Never played with any other team, other person besides my player. And I thought I did pretty well. We only lost by 3.
John Collins. Nobody else on my team could hit a jump shot. John Collins is the only one who's hitting jump shots.
Mm-hmm. And I could not be stopped with Steph Curry, and he got tired.
Which is it's fine. Steph Curry is the most broken character in any video game, so it's okay. I get.
Well, I still got the job posting for 2K Tutor, $5 an hour. Somebody can tutor me.
Oh, you're 2K. Paying? Let's go. Come on.
Yeah, man, $5 an hour.
Come on, big fella. Come on down. When's that Madden tutoring? I'm charging $30 an hour. Boy, you need it.
What happened to that Madden tournament, man?
Anthony, it's going to come to the point where if you have to face me, you're going to put it off.
I like the idea.
You have to talk to Roz because Roz makes 4. Roz makes 4. James isn't. James is not.
Oh yeah. He's not going to play.
So we need Roz.
No, but Roz is down.
Roz is down.
It should be a y'all 4 play, and then whoever wins out of y'all 4 faces me.
Yeah, James is not going to play that.
Like I said, this is a tournament for second place.
Who's ball?
You'll probably be better than Anthony, though. Absolutely be better than Anthony.
We got to figure out who's the 8 seed that got to play Dylan first. That's all we got to figure out.
Don't give me Roz. I don't want to do that to Roz. I don't want to do that to Roz. I'd have no problem doing it to Anthony.
If I didn't have a constant moral compass when it comes to this football thing, I will by all means take the 8th spot because, like I said before, I think I'm pretty good at video games that I'd be able to put up a fighter's chance. I'd be able to figure out something, figure out ideas and trends and everything like that. But nah, I'm sorry, guys, I can't do it.
It's fine. Anthony, when this happens, best of luck to you. Best of luck.
I don't know when it's going to happen. I'm all for it.
You better hope Mike doesn't figure out how to be a good quarterback again because that was his game when he played Madden.
It was.
When this tournament happens, are we picking random teams?
Yeah, I laid the rules out.
Yeah,
3 randoms. You pick one of those 3.
We had to make our own randoms.
Exactly. Or
we had to make our own
random
and on 2K because they don't even allow you to do it in this one now. You know how you normally put.
If you couldn't random.
No, we had to literally hold
the button, count to 3, and let go.
Yeah.
Wow. That's terrible.
Yeah, Anthony. Good luck to you if I get anybody but the Jets. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. Because anybody who's better than the Jets, you're done. Anybody, even if I'm the Jets, you're done. You better hope Mike stinks. You better hope Mike stinks.
Oh,
tell you right now, you ain't gonna last me, friend. I'll properly bring you behind the woodshed.
Pause.
Old Yeller style.
Pause.
Take you out.
I've been in the dungeons, man. I'm good. I'm ready for this tournament. Just gotta hit up
Did you hear
Roz.
that, World?
Hope so.
Anthony and I were supposed to play again before before what, 2 weeks ago?
Dylan is looking in.
Yeah, I've been on vacation, man.
Dylan is looking in the
Where? Where have you been on vacation at? You're over here sweating, putting 2 cases up, and you're on vacation? You don't got vacation in your vocabulary, sir.
Roz was on vacation. Roz is the one that was in Atlanta.
Oh yeah, he was in Atlanta.
Down there with
I'm supposed to believe
Trent.
you're on vacation?
Yeah, man, I took a road trip, man.
Where? Down
Huh?
the street?
Huh?
He said down the street. Now, I've been in Rhode Island for a couple of days, man, so I couldn't be on Madden, man.
This was 3 weeks ago, and then you told me to mind my business.
I don't remember saying that.
You literally, I said, Anthony, the pod. We're about to record the pod. When are we getting this rematch going? You literally said, and I quote, "Mind your business."
Yep.
And I'm like, this is my business.
Anyways, I'm ready for this Madden tournament, so whenever it wants to get set up, I am so down.
You have a better chance in FIFA. Actually, no, I'm good at FIFA. I'm pretty good at FIFA.
I still need to get MLB.
You don't want that smoke.
I'm not great at MLB. I'll tell you right now, I'm not great
You don't
at
want
it.
that smoke.
So
But-
I'll
Oh,
take
nah.
smoke. I'm just a competitor. I'll ask to play. I'll get shellacked, but I'll compete.
I'm pretty nice in MLB. Nobody's touching me with the red.
You said the same thing in Madden. You fucking stink.
Huh? Whoa. First off, I have beaten some people in Madden that you may happen to know them.
Like who?
I've beaten some people.
Who's some
All right.
drop now?
All right. I've beaten some.
Chill. Where I'm from, we don't name drop. Where I'm from, we don't name
Names or it
drop.
didn't happen.
Huh? Dylan,
Names
where
or
I'm
it
from,
didn't
we
happen.
don't name drop.
We are
man.
from the same
I'm
place.
just going to point out that Anthony is pulling the classic Donald Trump. Some people. Hey, everybody says, man. Everybody says I'm good. I don't know what you're talking about.
Anthony, here's the
People are
problem,
talking.
right? People don't know that I'm really fucking good at Madden because I don't play like that. I play Madden, but I don't play online and challenge people. I'd be doing franchise and I'd be fucking people up. Like I will probably anybody that you've beaten, I will fucking destroy. Let's put that out there. Anybody that you have beaten, I've seen you play.
The
because
funny
I
thing
played
is,
you.
most of my wins come in overtime too. That's the funniest thing.
You can't even get out of this first half. You can barely get out of the first half. How
Listen,
are you gonna get to overtime?
Man, you was doing some wild shit that last game, man. I don't even think we should count that game, Dylan. I don't think we should count it.
Okay.
I don't-
running the
I
football.
I don't think we should count it. I didn't like the way the game went.
All right, cool. Let's do it again.
Huh?
Swipe for clean.
Oh
from
yeah,
your
absolutely.
record. Clean from your record.
I'm ready. Let's get it again, man.
After the pod.
After the pod, motherfucker, it's like 12:30.
I don't sleep.
I do, bitch.
Why your voice so high,
you got a
Anthony?
new pair
Why
of
your
shoes?
voice so high? Why your voice so high? man?
Emotions. Emotional.
Anthony, what type of shoes you running in now? I see you got new ones.
I've seen
Look.
this game before, ladies and gentlemen. I know where this is going.
We're not gonna.
It's going nowhere
Look.
because he's just gonna keep running.
I am going to eat my oatmeal, and I'm going to go to sleep.
Take the brand off. They're not paying.
Huh?
They're not paying. Stop showing that.
Good job.
They
Mike.
will. Listen, when we're all millionaires, they will pay some.
We'll work on that. If you ever get your own segment, you can have Quaker Oats sponsor it.
The
That'll
Quaker
bet.
Oats fucking stupid take of the day.
Well, I mean,
the Raiders are going
that-
to the Super Bowl.
Hey, Anthony, hey, Dylan, that was a great segue because guess who's getting the first solo for the goodbye? This solo goodbye is sponsored by Quaker Oats.
Yes. Make sure you get these at any store you guys shop.
Anthony loves
Goodbye.
oats.
We're not-
You see,
we're
he
not
got the
giving
box
them-
of oats, and then he
we're
got the
not
yellow
giving
oats
them
in the
free
back on the
Coke.
shelf.
We're not giving
Bring
them-
him back. Hold on. Bring him back in. Bring him back in for the close up, the single. We got the yellow oats on the third shelf and the black shelf.
Oh,
we got ketchup on the top shelf. We got Lysol and cleaning supplies on the very top of it. Is that Parmesan cheese or panko breadcrumbs?
On the third shelf.
Yeah. Anthony, what are we doing? We got a globe. Anthony, show me where Panama is. Oh man! All right,
oh no, I can't. Yeah, there we go. Like and subscribe. Follow us on all the major platforms. We everywhere, man. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook. You know, we doing it every week for y'all. We love y'all, and we gonna come back next week even better. More coverage, more good stuff, more surprises. Deuces.
Hey man, like and subscribe. I feel like we've been picking up steam these last few episodes. For some reason, I feel like I gotta say free my guy Roz because he's just not for the pod. Hashtag free Roz. Miss you, brother. Get back to the pod when you can. But like and subscribe. Shout out to the supporters. Shout out to the streaming listeners, the YouTube viewers, and we got some interesting chalk talks coming. And stay tuned, man. Got some big things going on. Holla at me on Instagram. That's at breezy__bills. That's BREEZY__BILLZ. And my Twitter is at breezy5x. That's BREEZY5x.
Ooh. Like and subscribe. Appreciate all y'all. We've definitely been picking up steam. The last couple episodes are some of our most viewed episodes in a long time. I know that because I can now upload things as opposed to spending hours sending shit to Mike for him to then spend hours to upload. So we're able to get a lot more done now, and I can edit clips now because I have more time to do it because I can just upload directly. It's great. So yeah, all the Instagram clips you're probably going to be seeing will be probably edited by me real quick, little minute clips, nice little outro with music and our talking on it as well to have you coming in for more. So appreciate all of y'all. Yeah, we got a lot of good things coming. Keep it locked.
Yes, I echo everything the fellas said. Thank you for watching, subscribing, hitting the notification button, all the new followers, all the traffic that we've been getting. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you to Anchor, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, StreamYard, YouTube, wherever you get us. We appreciate it. Follow me, the socials, IAM_MBJ on all the socials. If you're a wrestling fan, follow me on the OTTR podcast. We'll be seeing those brothers soon. And yeah, man, thank you again. We're here, we appreciate it. And like the fellas said, we are moving and we got some things coming. Just stay tuned. It's only getting better from here.